Hello, and welcome to another episode of We Hate Skill Windows, a podcast about not really hating skill windows, but more so reviewing power fantasy webtoons and manhwa. I'm Rai,
Focus?
and today we are reviewing Steel Eating Player. I said this before the podcast started, but just when you thought webtoons ran out of ideas, they're like, so what if we had this guy who can eat metal, and that's his power? Also, he's in the military because he's Korean. But also, what if he ate all the spoons in the cafeteria so he could control more metal? Question mark.
I wonder how the metal tastes.
I why didn't he just like? Well, I guess that would probably be weird. My brain being like, why didn't he just eat a tank or something? I guess that would probably be more recognizable than eating all the spoons,
How does he even eat it? Does it like a portal appear that just digests it all, or
right?
does
Or
he
does
like?
he? No, he because he eats like weapons and stuff later.
Yeah, how does he
So
fit into his like mouth?
that's the real question. Man's eating like swords and
Oh,
spears and stuff. How is he not getting hurt doing this? Also, the army knows this is his talent, and they ignore it.
I think they know he can control things. I don't think they know.
Oh, do they
I don't
think
think
his power
anyone
is
knows.
telekinesis?
Or they think his power is just like controlling metal up to 300 kilograms.
Oh, but they don't know he can evolve it. Wait,
Yeah.
but if you saw all the spoons in your cafeteria missing, would you not assume the metal eater did, or the metal guy did it?
I don't. I
You
think
wouldn't
that'd be
assume he
weird.
ate them, I guess.
Yeah, I'd just kind of be like, "What the frick? Why? What's someone doing with all the spoons? Like, what's the
Hmm.
purpose?"
Okay. Yeah. But to give the synopsis as well, the main character has the ability to eat metal things and increases. He has a scaling talent, basically. A growth type talent, as they say. He's also a regressor. He was previously known as the Steel Emperor in his past life, and now he's back with vengeance. That's basically really it. And he does the classic thing where he just like goes to locations where he knows something will happen in the future. And there's this one side character lady who keeps almost sussing him and then gets like interrupted by plot armor. It makes me so sad. He almost got him. He was like, "You seem to know what's happening. Like, I'm gonna figure out how you know it." And then something happened, and she didn't figure out how he knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have anything Fuchsia's? This was only 36 chapters, give or take, so not the
Yeah.
biggest review.
I thought it was. Um. hmm, In the beginning, it was definitely pretty generic, and I was kind of like, eh. But I
It's like
think.
every other army returnee Korean power fantasy type of thing.
Mm. But
But
later they get more people, and it starts like they start forming a group. I started kind of knowing the names of like two other characters.
right, and his like squad mates, he actually cares about somehow, and just throw him away
Yeah.
like everything else.
There's a lot of them though, so I was a little bit surprised. Like it's gonna be hard for the author to really introduce
Yeah, but the guys
all
in
of
the who were
them.
in the gate dungeon, right? There was
Yeah.
the tank guy. There was the lightning man. There was the thief man, and then there were like three other guys.
Yep.
Yep. And you know what? We knew them before, and we'll probably know them more because they evolved. Which is really weird because I know one of the characters during that arc. This is the most recent bit, like in the last 10 chapters or so, probably. Um, they go into a gate or a dungeon or whatever you would call it, and his squad mates start leveling up, but they're like all really low rank soldiers, but by leveling up, their abilities get stronger. So, by the logic of their abilities getting stronger, how did no one assume that the main character's ability could evolve? You know?
They said that
They were
F-ranks
so
apparently can
shocked
never
that
get
he
strong.
but even his like teammates are getting stronger. Tank Man
Well,
got a better
they're like
tank shield.
they're D ranks, I think, and E ranks.
Oh. Oh, is he like the
They're,
only F
they're like
rank?
the lightning guy is also F rank.
Oh, that's true. I've never we've never seen the lightning guy use lightning.
We've seen it in Soul Station. He like
Oh, did we?
very briefly hit the spider with lightning.
Ah, yes.
Uh,
Oh wait,
It,
okay.
it,
I guess I misunderstood. I thought all of his teammates were also like equally trash tier.
I think most of them. I think I only know like the tank's rank being like E and evolved to D recently,
Hmm.
and then the lightning guys is F,
And the main
and then the main
character
character's
is
F.
F in quotation marks. Oh boy.
I
Did
think
you like
the
the bit in the gate where everyone's like, "Oh my god, we gotta retrieve the spear," and then he doesn't he eat it?
he turned it into a tattoo.
He did. That was equally confusing
Yeah.
and very handy. Very
Yeah, I was like,
handy.
what's this random thing that
You're
turns
better
things
than a
into
thief.
tattoos?
Your thief guy
I'm,
is not thieving so good. You can turn anything into that. Oh, there's too much use in that. There's so much versatility in that. I mean, too good. How'd you think of the Soul Station arc, where he used marbles to kill giant insects? He really did marvel them to death, which was sort of cool.
it was kind of cool. It was a very, I
It's
don't know, it
also
kind of felt
very.
like a generic fight.
I didn't like that arc. Okay, actually, what are your thoughts on the whole villain thing that's happening? Because throughout the series, there's a hinted thing that the evil antagonists who have also awakened powers and stuff have like quests to upgrade their talents, but they're called like villain quests,
Yeah,
which is weird because how do you guarantee, right? Like, didn't he got like a good guy quest?
yeah,
He got like a hero quest, which implies that
yeah.
this implies that there's a goddamn quest system in the game,
In
in
the world,
IRL and in his
yeah.
reality. It's not explored at all though. You know, I can understand, okay, all right, everyone's got abilities, blah blah blah. But there's quests. This implies that there's the whole like the god of happiness and joy donates 5 coins and tells you to go and treat yourself or something. I don't
Well, this
know.
is one of the portal worlds where people go into dungeon.
It is, but it doesn't mean
Yeah,
there can't be this,
that's
right?
true. We can
And
mix
if
and
there's a
match.
quest system and he was talking about like I'll decline and then the system was like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yes." Like there's a system.
Yeah,
The
and
system's
even
sentient.
the freaking dungeons have like level gates.
They
Like
do.
you can only go in
Level
here if you're level
restriction gates
15 or
or lower.
lower.
And then the other one was like level 18 or lower.
Yeah, and it turned into a level 32 and then
32.
a
Yeah.
53.
Yeah, but see, so that was a area inside the gate itself, right? So
Yeah,
if you enter the gate, you still had to be 15 or lower to enter. Then how would you ever get to the third?
I think it updated. So like it
Would
started
it have
out like
updated the whole world though? Wouldn't they have been able to send in better support then?
I think so.
But they didn't.
Yep.
Huh. Sure. Yeah, sure. I sure. Also, he stopped eating random metal at some point. I sort of just
Yeah.
wanted him to do the "I get stronger when I eat" type of thing and just keep consuming. Like, "Oh, look, that's a really nice, road sign right there. Give me a second. I'm gonna perform a magic trick. Turn around now." He stops eating normal nothing metal. He he eats stuff that doesn't look like metal as well. He literally grabbed like a crystal from the first boss thing he fought, and he ate it.
Yeah.
And
And
apparently
it
it was
came
like
out
a
of the guy's
crucial
heart. Yeah.
Okay,
And
yeah,
it
but
had all this green
he's
juice on
been
it, and he shoved it in his mouth.
he's been sucking those up. He's been vacuuming up the crystals.
I'm just
But the
like,
crystals aren't metal.
I guess it's defined like what is metal in this world, I guess.
Oh, well,
Like it's like
yeah. Maybe the crystals are metal in his world. To us, they look like crystals. I don't know. Draw like steel then dropping from these guys. I don't know. Sometimes that's true, but you know how there's actually quite a few stories that have this idea um of like uh sort of like a world where people get stronger and they gain abilities, blah blah blah. And if you kill monsters in their hearts or in their liver or something, it's always some organ. There is like a hidden little monster capsule thing, something, and it's a permanent power up. I've seen this trope like in at least 4 or 5 different webtoons. And the idea is that like this is a hidden technique and no one knows about it because who the heck would actually go and eat this stuff? But the people who do get like infinitely stronger. I can understand that part ish, but also in I think the second major arc where they're defending the city against the sewer rat poison guys,
mm,
there's a part where he kills a bunch of those rats. And then he's like, "Damn it, if there wasn't so many people around, I'd be eating these crystals." He is literally in smoke. Who is paying attention to him?
that's true. It might be rude though to eat crystals while everyone else is dying.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, his subordinate was there, the F rank lightning guy. He could have just been like, "Hey, do you trust me? Okay, turn around." And then his his subordinate just doesn't listen to like crunch, 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 crunch.
It's like we're dying over here, and our commander and officer is getting a snack.
Yeah, but listen, I once I get the snack, I'll be better. Like, also a question for that. They introduced mana and HP potions later on. Where was that during the first
Yeah,
bit? Why did we have to
yeah.
see these indicators of mana low, mana below 10%? Where was your mana
My God, they
potion?
happen so often. They're like half
He
of the
literally
panels in like
almost
20
suffers from like
chapters.
mana withdrawal every time he fights early, and then later on his teams just got mana potions. Where was it before?
What?
Uh, yeah. Okay. I don't really have too much to say about this one. Did you did you think of anything?
It was getting kind of interesting, although the format of this story is, and actually a lot of these manhwas, is getting kind of repetitive, like
What do you mean
boss of the week
format?
appears, they go
Oh,
fight and beat the boss, next boss appears.
yeah. A
They
lot of
never
it
have
as
any
well as
like,
like the main character already knows what's gonna happen, right? So they
yeah,
move according to what will happen in the future.
it'd be refreshing to see if they ever had like a non-fighting focused conflict.
Well, how would the main character be able to make use of that though, right?
Make use of what?
A non-fighting conflict. His ability is like you mean like maybe like a building falls on people and he like controls the metal to save them or something, or
Or just like a problem that the main character faces that's not like he has to like save the day with his powers, but rather like a falling out with his teammates, or maybe I don't know, like a side plot
I mean, I
of
do think something will come up sooner than later where the red-haired lady is gonna like corner him in a room and be like, "You're not an F rank, are you?" or something like that, right? They might have
uh,
that like the internal court martial type of arc, and then he's gonna get out of it using some BS. No, no, I'm just a slightly stronger F rank. You saw nothing, type of thing.
yeah.
Also, very surprised he did not eat the cloud sword that he got from the armory. It looked
It
like metal.
seems like they're trying to like hype it up like
He's
it's
trying to
now
like
at
evolve it.
59%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But once it's evolved, I have a strange feeling he's gonna use it. Rather, I guess, but why didn't he just use the he he ate like an amulet so he can gain like the passive effect of creating armor?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't he just eat every good artifact and just control like a custom made blade?
Uh,
I uh, oh, oh boy. The more you question the things, the more it doesn't actually make sense. So you just yeah, let's rate it. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Our score.
9.
Damn. So resoundingly fast.
I was very impressed from the very first chapter.
Really?
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's different. Then I was gonna say I don't know if it's good, but it's grown on me. It I'll give it an 8. Is best I'm willing to go. It's how do I put it? So I think we covered this slightly on the last one, but last episode, but a lot of the manhwa and webtoons, when they go on hiatus for the next season, they will come back with a different artist. And when that happens, it's like if your friend came back from a trip and their face was different, but it was still your friend, you know? Like it's really jarring. And for us readers who literally wait every week to see this come out, half the time, for me at least, I just drop the series if I don't like the art, which sort of sucks because you get used to something over like 60 chapters, and then from 61 onwards, it's a different thing. It throws it super hard. This one, I swear to God, if they go on a season hiatus and they come back with a different artist, I am going to be sad. Genuinely going to be sad. Oh wait, also, speaking of something, one of the needles in the haystacks that we found, Dungeon Odyssey.
Yeah.
Did you read the latest chapter of that?
No.
No. So the latest chapter was really long this time, and it was like a author's note. So, or not an author's, the artist's note. So, right. So the artist who's been doing the webtoon rather for Dungeon Odyssey has a really, really unique art style.
Yeah.
Like, I think it might be the most unique art style I would say there is of arguably of a lot of all times, I think.
Yeah.
It's genuinely really nice. Very fluid, sort of blobby art style. But it's like it's so good. Um, but the artist made this big old long like sort of like a Q&A or but just sort of like a delve into the brain of his art workflow and stuff. And part of it, he brought up the fact that because his art style is so unique, he can't take on assistants easily because it's hard for people to like follow the style.
Oh, yeah, they have to train in it. It'll probably take, like, a 6-week training course,
Probably
and then you
longer,
have
honestly,
yeah.
because every artist has their own style and it's really hard to emulate someone else's style, which is why like if I ever do projects, I'm like, please, hopefully we can meet halfway and call it a day. If you force me to emulate style, the only thing I can do is revert to pixel art. Everyone can do pixel art, but everyone else's style is just gonna be drastically different. But yeah, it was just I was like, huh, that's true. But he the guy also talks about how a lot of it is written with the idea of like I guess apparently the artist for Dungeon Odyssey has been rewriting a lot of the chapters from Dungeon Odyssey, the web novel, with the idea of making it more flowing better for the reader of a visual thing rather than a imaginary thing. So basically, like he's been giving backstory to characters that the original author didn't give backstory to, which I appreciate. It's a really good chapter. I
Mhm.
appreciated the hell out of that because a lot of the times you see really weird pacing from the webtoon authors and writer and like artists. Or you see really slow pacing because they're like, well, there's nothing to go off on. They just do a training arc here. I guess we'll just do a 30 chapter training arc for no reason. And then it's just filler. But the way it was explained in that chapter, heavily recommend. Dungeon Odyssey, heavily recommend it. Very good. The story for this one, it had a
Mm,
story. I think
that
my
was
main issue is probably more so with the characters feeling a little meh. The story is not horrible. It's at some point I think I stopped even paying attention to the fact that he regressed. It's just become second nature. I expect them to have regressed, but
mhm.
hmm, I, not the biggest fan of like, oh yeah, I regressed, and also I know that X thing is going to happen when, so therefore I should just coincidentally be at Soul Station on that day because I know something will happen. It
And then the thing happens, and we're all like, "Wow,
Wow,
whoa,
who could
that's
have
so
expected this to
cool."
happen? Wait, what? Oh my god, there was a villain? Oh, yeah,
And then they go through a fight scene, they're like, "Oh my god, it was actually slightly stronger than in the future.
yeah,
Oh
the future's
no!
changing. Oh my god, the
Oh my
butterfly
god!
effect. Oh, it's
I
a
have
little generic.
0% mana left. No, I'm going to lose." Pulls out card. "No, I'm not gonna lose."
Uno reverse card. I'll give it a 6. It's like unique in the fact that the main character eats metal, but it's also very generic. What will your score be if you think more
Um,
highly of it?
as of now, I'm not particularly. I think I'll give it a 5.
Good old middle of the road fight. Okay. Well, the character score. So I'm just gonna be honest. I don't hate the characters. They're just sort of bland. Like the main character, sure, he's got some motivations in life, I guess, but it's like a one man show, you know? Like no one else really
Yeah.
matters. The one lady, the red haired lady with armor, she's supposed to be like top of the unit. She only shows up every so often and she's like really incompetent in doing anything that would actually reveal anything.
Do
Uh,
you remember the one Hyung from, like, the Hope Guild in the very beginning? Who's the only person who ever, like, trusted me, he banded up us F ranks together.
oh, you mean the one chapter where
Yeah,
told some guy to invest in like 5 cryptocurrencies? That
this
one?
guy who's apparently, like, one of the strongest defining characters in his previous life just evaporated.
The one that
Just
he
we
never
don't
sees
even
again, basically.
yeah. I'm like,
Oh,
this
the
is
one chapter
so
backstory.
I I could not believe there was so much, like, verbiage that made this person sound so important, and we never saw him again.
Yeah,
Uh,
also the fact that he like threatened the one other guy that was there and didn't kill him, and then later on when they're fighting in a more public space, he's like, "Damn, I can't do anything because I'm a civil servant or whatever. I'm a military guy, and people
I'm just
like I can't do that." You were in a abandoned building apparently in the Hope Guild. No one would have seen you. Your best friend or whatever was there. Surely you would have just been like, "Okay, listen, man. Just don't tell anyone of what you saw today, and I'll tell you the lottery numbers for the next week," you know? Like, surely there
I
was a compromise you could have made there and just offed the guy.
I don't know if killing people was the most
Okay, okay. N-
he said it like it was okay if he wasn't the military officer, but would it really have been okay?
Well, right, but if it was okay if he wasn't in the military, no one would have known he was military in that building. He could have gotten away with it.
Oh my, I think the story would be a lot different if he was a murder hobo.
L- Chris, okay. This is my divinity shit coming up, back up. I- if there's an NPC that's getting in your way, you
I
just you find an opportunity. I don't know how you want to do it. You teleport them in Divinity, at least. My one of my favorite things was just to teleport someone like off a cliff, and then uh, and then you teleport them back on the cliff when you've killed them, and then you're like, oh, hey, free loot. Look at that.
I see.
Yeah. Do you mess up a storyline? Yes. But you know, the game wouldn't have let you do that if it wasn't fair, you know? And this guy, he was chosen by the system and he chose to be an asshole. So it should be fine. Plus his friend was getting threatened. It's justifiable self-defense, right? Oh, whoops, I accidentally leveled up my steel eating power. I didn't realize it would have pierced through your skull. Yeah?
See. I'm
Listen, officer, I could only control 300 grams, but now I can control 500. My finger slipped.
finger slipped. Huh. I think we have a word for it's called involuntary manslaughter.
My finger steeled.
Oh.
Invo- but the courts must be different now, right? Because people have abilities that allow them to do insane stuff. There's no way the courts are judging according to normal human laws still. They gotta adjust,
I don't
right?
know. Killing someone's pretty intense. I don't know if I don't know if that law
Yeah,
changed.
yeah, okay, but also I'm not arguing for it in the context of the real world or something. I'm arguing for it from the context of this guy who literally has a dialogue line where he's like, "Damn, if only I wasn't military personnel, I would have killed him or something."
That's true.
So that shows that this character is willing to do so. And we all know that if you leave this guy alive, he's gonna sick his grandfather on you or something. The best way to get rid of these people is just to eradicate their entire family line.
I
You leave
I
no
just
evidence, not even the kids, not even the family. Yeah,
I think the guy was definitely, he's a murderer. He killed a couple people already.
yeah.
Um, but this guy,
and he got away with
A
it.
little harder. I don't know.
Okay, let's think about it in a different context, just to point out that point, right? My daughter is the final boss, right? Like one
Yeah.
guy he ran into at the auction who also used like the butterfly eyes or the snowflake eyes. Why'd they kill him?
Wasn't he a monster? He
No,
was technically not human.
no. The guy with the sword, the arrogant like rich hunter guy.
Oh wait, he's not dead, is he?
No, he's dead. Oh, he's super dead.
Oh, he's dead?
Urzavet dragged him into a portal and then sicked like 500 skeletons. And then the last panel we saw of
Oh
him was
yeah.
him screaming no and then like SFX bubbles of crunch crunch. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
He's incredibly dead. How are we gonna explain
Elizabeth's not a
that?
human either,
O
technically.
okay, yes, but Urzavet not being a human doesn't excuse the fact that this man now ceases to exist in the world. People are going to be looking for him. Why
I
did
think
they not think about this in the first place? Why did they have him raid the auction? He could have participated. He could have had money. Urzavet's probably got money. Why didn't they just have him buy the crystal?
their reasoning was that they didn't want the people to trace back, because like
Oh, to
they
trace
were
back
always
to
gonna try to
him.
get the
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but then use a proxy or I don't know. The
Yeah.
fact that he broke into the auction when he was already sort of recognizable for being the only spearman, really, in publicity, is sort of insane. And then the fact that the swords guy recognized his fighting style from him using not a spear is equally confusing. Yeah, but basically, my whole point is there usually seems to be no real issues with killing off a character somehow. But the main character was still like, in Steel Eating Player, no, I can't kill him because I'm in the military. But which does imply that if he wasn't in the military, he would have killed him. Anyway, uh, it still stands that the guy he should have killed was a very weak character. Also,
Yeah.
also important thing to note, he was wearing metal armor. If he's wearing metal armor, and he's like a heavily invested guy, this means like the majority of people who fight wear metal armor, right?
Probably, yeah.
The main character probably has a much better PvP ability than he thinks than PvE. He could just go around metal crushing people's armors. He's not thinking evilly enough. He's got too much morality in him. He should just let go of that stuff. He should graduate from the military. And then he'll be on a regular old grand killing spree. It'll be a good time. We'll give the characters like a 4. The main character's pretty cool. I sort of like the squad. They're growing on me. No one else matters. The vampires are cool, but they're not that cool. They're just generic evil. Generic evil
Well,
who serve bigger evil.
yeah.
We're not going to question how they have the ability to make gates. We're not going to question that stuff. There's probably some idea behind it, but it's not explored enough for us to talk about.
Yeah, I'll probably have to give them a 5 too.
Oh,
Or
a 5 or a
yeah,
4
I
though.
mean 5.
Damn, so
I
benevolent.
didn't I liked this like the development within the squad, but I agree that the villains kind of don't feel very like grounded in their goals, and the freaking
Okay, I'll just put it this way as well.
side
The one
characters.
guy, the Hope guy, or the evil guy in the Hope arc, the Hope Guild arc. He was willing to kill the main character.
for like no reason. He was
He
just
was
so
absolutely he yelled that he would kill him like several times in public. How is he
it,
allowed to kill people? He's only allowed to kill people supposedly because he's not in the military. This would imply that there is no involuntary manslaughter.
I,
There may not
I
even be
mean,
a manslaughter charge.
is I feel like the legality was just like a simple deterrent, but I feel like the morality of the issue is also important. The ethics.
We don't read this to have to expect the main character to have ethics, I think. I'd be very surprised if any webtoon readers were like, "Wait, he's got morals? Oh my god, my Oshi." Like I feel like we read these because we know that they're going to be like horrible people. Oh, I also wrote the final score wrong. I was writing the final score and I wrote 0.16. That's by far the lowest score we've given something. Oh my god. No, it's 6.16.
Nice.
Which, you know, it's a middle of the road score. Skill windows out of
Slightly below
10.
average. Oh, this is so tragic. Why? So he makes this world, and then he's like, the portal system doesn't. You know what doesn't have more of skill windows. The God, when he rained down wrath upon this world and sent the humans to their sad little lives, he decided that everyone had to have a level, and you had to. If you entered the zone, it was called an unlucky space, and you could only enter it if you were level 15 or under. I, I don't know.
You think normal people in this world can see the skill levels and the level restrictions and all that stuff? They sort of can,
Probably
right?
not.
Right? Like the people in Soul Station, they knew they couldn't leave.
That's true.
So which means they probably felt at least like when they tried to leave, they could not exit the door or something, right?
Yeah, they might have just been like trapped behind the
But do they
barrier, and
see
they're
the
like,
skill
"Oh,
windows?
I feel like they wouldn't just because it's like the players and the awakened in the system, and you have to be part of the system. I don't know.
Yeah, but then it's like, well, how does someone awaken?
How does anyone awaken in these stories?
How do they awaken? They just are.
You just gotta be built different.
And then in some of the other stories, it's like, oh yeah, anyone can awaken. But I went to this like guy who was like, I'll awaken you for $20, but
Yeah.
I'll do it really shadily and give you like a horrible talent. Yeah. Well,
I don't
what's
know,
our
they
skill
drew it a
window
soul
score? Was
station.
it good? Did we like it?
Oh, I don't like these worlds. I don't like this world at least.
uh, not a fan out of 10. Unfortunate. You didn't like this one? Well,
I
it's like
don't
the
like.
first skill window we saw in a while, you know? Didn't you have some
Yeah.
nostalgia or something? You were like, oh
Oh,
man, wow, uh, my friend, I finally saw you again. I suppose the podcast being called We Hate Skill Windows, we wouldn't possibly like skill windows, would we?
I just think it's kind of preposterous. I don't know. It breaks my suspension of disbelief every time I see one.
My thing is just, does he actually see that his mana is going down?
He apparently gets notifications. One
Right?
time he
It pops up.
it pops up, and one time he was like, "I know my mana's going down. You can stop notifying me." So apparently he sees those notifications just like we do, and they appear so often.
And then he just drinks a mana pot and is fine.
I don't know if I could live like that. Like every time you're just out of mana, you like every 5 seconds, your mana's low, your mana's low. I'd be like, oh my god.
Do you know what it
Like
reminds
I
me
have to
of?
be like this for the rest of my life.
You know what I think of when I see that type of thing? Path
What?
of Exile, a game that both of us have played. You know how your
Yes.
character goes like, "No more clutter," or like, like I can no longer pick up things, or whatever they say.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me figure. POE, no inventory space. voice lines. Every character says something when it happens. I just don't know. Oh, does no one else complain about the voice lines? PoE voice lines. Path of Exile audio index. The heck? What did you usually play in Path of Exile character wise?
I've only played it like twice, and I
Yeah.
played a summoner and
I know the witch says no more
something else.
clutter. Then some of these guys just say some like equally weird stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is entering, this is kills. Here's the generic one. Where just say it's not here. Yeah. Okay. Well, I was hoping it would be there, but it's not. Okay. Well, that's fine, I guess. Um, is it miscellaneous? Maybe. Uh, not here. Oh, in town you can use skills, and then it'll be like that would just make life complicated. Oh yes, inventory full. Too much
That's
clutter.
too much.
Yeah, and then certain other characters do say other stuff as well for it. Uh, the Scion says far too much baggage. Basically, like these guys also say it like every time you try to do it, even though you sort of know at that point, and you're like, okay, damn, I gotta go back. But you think the system would have a mute button, like a do not disturb mode?
I don't know if God programs that in.
Well, clearly the system is alive, right?
Yeah, it
Usually,
makes
at
these
least.
events.
So it should be. You would assume God is a good game designer, right? You would
I mean, he only
assume.
gave some people powers, and some people get F rank powers that apparently just suck. And some people have A rank powers that are apparently just great.
Oh,
I don't know if God's a good game designer, honestly,
shoot.
these stories.
Oh no. He makes AFK Arena.
Some people don't even get powers, but the game still affects them by
I am
outbreaks.
still waiting, by the way. I'm just gonna say I'm still also. I think we're good to have you pick one then.
Already.
But I'm still waiting for a pick me up infinite gotcha type of game where a 3-star unit is actually useful. 'Cause I'll tell you what, I know you and I have both been playing AFK Journey a little bit. Uh, Chippy is not ascendable.
Not good. Yeah.
Why couldn't he also ascend, right? Why couldn't he become
Well,
like based Chippy?
we did play a game once where the one stars were useful.
You're talking
Oh,
about
it was
Crusader Quest?
well, the Crusader Quest. Yeah, there's only 4 and 5 stars. The 1, 2, 3, there's just some random thing.
Yeah, but I know
Oh,
like you every like character is sort of useful because you can then like random gotcha their higher
yeah, it's,
tier.
the the one I was thinking of was the Neuro something link.
Neuro. Oh yes, I roughly know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I forgot what that game was, and I don't think I can find it again. Yes, I know which one you're
Neuro
talking about.
Cloud.
Yeah, the like the one
Yeah.
where the main gameplay was like a roguelike and it took way too long. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. That
That was
one, a lot of
one.
the 1 stars were
Or more
actually
useful than
super
the 5
good.
costs. Yeah, the 5 stars.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that 'cause webstones have higher base stats, but
They also only had like 3 or 4 or 5 stars.
yeah.
Is the game some games they do come out, right? And they always have like 50 SSS class heroes or something. And some games come out and they're like, "Hey, we have like 4. In fact, we only have like 8 characters total. We're just gonna grow as we update." And both are sort of cool. Oh, have you found something?
Have you ever watched Free the Dark Magician No,
No, I don't think we
transmit it
did
after
because we
60
always memed about it and then never did it.
Yeah, we should still never do it.
uh, why would you say that? It's at 112 chapters. We could finally give in and do Lone Spellcaster. I imagine you don't want to do that, but we could. That sounds like a guy who does not want to do it.
Does it get better?
it mm, mm, define better.
Oh my god, even god dang Asura dropped it after giving an 8.3.
Damn, oh my god. Oh, damn.
Oh.
Wait, that's harsh.
It's one of the most awful things I've ever had to read. Ugh. I went through Sleeping Ranker, which was just horrendously boring.
Yeah, you didn't like the part where like he auto farmed while asleep,
Oh yeah,
and then his
yeah.
party was like, "Oh my god, can you like wait up?" And then they developed assumptions and just ideas about him while he was literally narcolepsed. There's quite a few
Yeah.
new ones that came out that are pretty good. Waiting for them to have more chapters so we can review them better. Sarah's been doing good. They've been picking up interesting stuff.
Okay, what about Martial God regressed to level 2?
Martial God. Yeah, 51 chapters. By the studio that brought to you solo leveling with Reed Eye Studio.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gotta be
Yeah.
good. It has to be good. It has to be. It's Reed Eyes. Reed Eyes would never do something bad. Reed Eyes would
It's
never
unique
miss.
too because most of these they regress to level 1, but this guy, he regressed to level 2.
Right, and that's
It's
different.
unique.
Yeah, you're so right. Yeah, let's do it.
Heavenly Demon Lord regressed to level 3.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Mm.
Well, that's that. I again forgot to shill and promo this thing. So if you watched this far and you would like to press the subscribe button and I don't know, like the video, that'd be nice. Leave comments if you want as well, and we'll see you next time. One of these days. Remind me on the next episode to just like aggressively shill like 3 minutes in. I can almost guarantee
Yes.
this won't happen. Okay. All right. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.